day of March. We are looking forward towards April for a lot of reasons. And in terms of things I look forward to, is how spring is a season that I don't know about other places, but at least in New York, we call cuffing season. Now, what exactly is cuffing season? That's when you get rid of that big bitch that you was sleeping with all summer and go for the thuti of your dreams, the thuti you actually want. Unless you really genuinely just like big bitches and didn't want to save on your heat bill. Then, I mean, do you. But for the people who like something a little bit more slim thick, they get rid of them big bitches that they kept for the winter to save money on their heat bill. And they go get them something a little bit smaller. And you know what in general cuffing season is? It's a season of love. And if you're like me, which watching this video, watching this stream, you probably all like me. In terms of a person who loves games, you probably enjoy a game named PLAWORLD. But you may enjoy PLAWORLD a little bit differently than the way that others enjoy PLAWORLD. Other people may hop on PLAWORLD to play the game. They might get the little monsters to make a little monster farm, and then on our little monster farm, we grow fruits and vegetables, and everybody stay fed, and we get to make all these cool weapons to defend ourselves and go hunt down pals. But you may have looked at PLAWORLD and got some feelings inside. Maybe your little clitoris got hard. Your small 1-inch pincher said, and you said, oh yeah. And you was rubbing your hands to PLAWORLD. Well, boy, oh boy, do I have the game for you. There is now either out or in the works. Oh, just announced a PLAWORLD dating sim named PLAWORLD. More than just pals. Yeah, that's the type of time when we on. Now let's watch this trailer and see what this game is talking about. You ever wanted to fuck a monstrous animal? Well, this is the game for you. Under the legendary world tree, your destiny intertwines with adorable pals. A wacky school romance simulation that's taking the world by storm. New characters are joining PLAWORLD. Chillette Ignis, Chillette's little sister. You're my second favorite right after Big Brother. Is that not good? Niggas can't have shit without having an incest joke. All right, give me my fucking like back. Like, damn, can we have a hornball game with no incest jokes? What the fuck was that? Bestiality jokes are fine, but monster jokes? Nah, nigga, that's off the table. Let's talk about how there are some developers that have said the Nintendo Switch 2 developer kits don't have a 4K output, which likely means the Nintendo Switch 2 will be the third HD console we have with barely, if any, 1080. Now, my prediction is this console is not going past, like handheld, maybe 1080. Because for those of y'all who don't know, in handheld mode, the Switch is, like the Nintendo Switch 1 is 720p, like the handheld screen, and when you connect it to the casing, whatever it's called, the shell casing for the Nintendo Switch, this shit, the dock, that's what it's called. Whenever I said shell casings, kill me now. Anyway, whenever you connect the Nintendo Switch to like the actual dock, it goes to 1080 when you connect it through the HDMI to like a TV screen or whatever. But yeah, they're saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 ain't gonna be 4K. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really surprised, because the average person when they look at video, they can tell if a video is in 480p, but they can't really tell the difference between 1080 and higher mostly. And like people who do care about stuff like that, they're like 1 million times more likely to either build their own PC or buy a PS5, unless they're a fucking dickhead Sony dick rider, build a PC. So yeah, I'm not really surprised about this, but I'll read up and see if there's anything more to this. Past rumors suggest that the Switch 2 will support 4K when docked. When in handheld, however, it will have a 1080p resolution. What I expect is 1080p and 1440. I think even 1440 may be too much for Nintendo in particular, because it's like the difference between 1080, 1440, and 2140 right now are mostly minimal and theoretical, so to speak. So to explain it in layman's terms, for example, Smash Brothers, when it came out on the Wii, that game, if you turn it all the way up and like take the assets and put them in something like Dolphin, where it can actually like properly render everything as it was scaled and originally meant to be, a lot of stuff in Brawl can be shown in full 1080p and still look nice, good, and crispy, even though the assets were compressed down so that when you see it on your TV, you see 480. So with a lot of older games, they were making stuff for higher resolutions than the console could handle. Now they're making stuff lower resolution than the console can handle so that they can upscale it to save on processing so games run better. I say that to say, when you start realizing that a lot of these consoles are really showing you a 480p image and they're using magical technology to make it look 4K and read 4K, you start to realize, oh, PS5 says it can output to 4K, really is just giving me really fancy 720. So I'm not surprised that this doesn't have 4K. I'm not surprised at like it being docked 1080. It's fucking Nintendo. They're not at the forefront of technological innovation when it comes to like specs and stuff like that. Like, who the fuck buys a Switch to see stuff in HD? Bitch, you'll be lucky if you get a frame rate. Despite claims of 4K, I heard this from one developer at GDC and also heard it separately in an email, but the dev kits or some of the dev kits don't have a 4K output. Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson said during the latest episode of Insider Gaming Weekly. It should be emphasized that the lack of 4K output on a dev kit doesn't automatically mean that a system won't support it. With Nintendo, I would say you could take this with a slight grain of salt, because like if you said that for something like PlayStation or Xbox, I'd be like, you know what, whatever. When a full console comes out, they'll probably have upgraded graphics and upscaling and all this other crazy technology integrated. But with Nintendo, I don't see it. Console dev kits don't often fully match the specs of the final system. For example, some started a sentence off with a conjunction. Some developer kits could offer more memory to allow better for debugging and leave out features that don't impact testing too much, like in this instance, a 4K output. That's fair. Sticking on the topic of dev kits, blah 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 blah. Expecting them in June. Whatever. So point is, there's a good chance the Switch won't have a 4K output, and I'm not gonna lie, if it doesn't, I don't know why anybody would be fucking surprised. Nintendo is always a generation behind in technology, and when it comes to like rendering images into higher resolutions than 2140, not only is it rarely done, but it's kind of pointless, because after 2140 you're rendering information that the human eye and that the human brain can't notice and can't perceive anyway, so you're kind of just wasting your fucking time. And now in terms of graphics, more game studios are more so focusing on like weird detail oriented stuff like ray tracing. They don't really give a fuck about the resolution. We've got to a resolution now to where you can see the pores on the nigga face and how open they are if you got the right setup. So I'm not surprised. I don't think anybody gives a fuck. Smash Ultimate That game is in 1080 and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Fucking tears of the frame rate. Even though it has a dog shit frame rate, that game looks amazing. Mario Odyssey, that game looks fucking amazing. It's crispy and 60 FPS. Like, I don't think Nintendo needs to care, but I think y'all would care because I found it a little bit interesting. Something else I find interesting is the fact that for some goddamn reason, hold on, because this is disgusting, abhorrent behavior, bro. This is abhorrent behavior. The Last of Us franchise is getting a special physical release for a PlayStation 5th edition soon. Neil Druckmann. Wait, I don't even have on my filters properly. Neil Druckmann. Step away from The Last of Us. Put down The Last of Us. Put down the remasters. Please. We don't need no more remasters. We don't need no more re-releases. You can take a year off from releasing The Last of Us yet a fucking game. Please. We get it. The show is coming out. Just put the game on sale when the show comes out. You don't need to re-release the game. You don't need a remaster. Please, for the love of God, stop diverting your attention away from what's this shit called? Oh, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Please, Neil, focus on the Heretic Prophet. Please, Neil, focus on the Heretic Prophet. I ain't gonna tell your bitch ass again. Please, Neil, focus on the Heretic Prophet, man. God damn. All this effort could go to making a new Crash Bandicoot. All this effort could go to a new fucking Spyro. I think that's Naughty Dog too. No, that's Activision. I'm bugging. But it could go to making a new Crash Bandicoot, because 4 was cool. I didn't play it, but I heard it wasn't that bad, so 4 was cool. But can we get a 5? Y'all have other IPs. Like, bro, let's look up what other IPs Naughty Dog has. Because I know they have a lot of bangers under their belt, but besides The Last of Us Remaster, I'm kind of having trouble thinking off the top of my head. Because I know they got some hidden gems in there too. That's some Naughty Dog video games. There we go. That should be good. Y'all motherfuckers have... What do y'all have? Okay, that's early shit that I would know nothing about. Okay, y'all got fucking Crash Bandicoot. CTR. When's the last time we had a Crash Team Racing? Oh, Jack and Dexter. That's what I was trying to think of. Crash. Like the traditional Crash. Crash Team Racing. Jack and Daxter. Fucking another Jack game too. It's been a while. When's the last Uncharted game? That's like 2019, 2018. It's been about 5 years. We'll take another Uncharted. Just please stop dick slapping us on the face with The Last of Us over and over. We are tired. We are good. Look how in the beginning, right? You see a variety of different names. You see Math Jam, whatever. You see Dream Zone, Keep Thief, Rings of Power, all this other different shit. Crash, a couple Crash games in a row. Crash Team Racing. Then you see Jack Team Dexter. By the way, that was from 99 to like 98. Oh, 96 to 99. That was 4 years. Y'all made a bunch of Crash games. Y'all said, okay, cool. In the 2000s, y'all started making Jack games. Jack and Dexter, Jack 3, Combat Racing. Y'all made Jack games for a few years. Then y'all moved on to Uncharted. Y'all made those games for a few years, releasing new iteration after new iteration. Then y'all got to 2013, The Last of Us. This DLC, so I kind of wouldn't count this. Last of Us Remastered for the PS4. We was like, okay, that's fine, new console, whatever. Y'all made Uncharted, and then y'all added the DLC, The Last of Us Part 2. That's a new game. That's a re-release of an old game. What the fuck? That's another re-release, remaster of an old game. What the fuck? Y'all remastered a game that was like a year old. What the fuck? Please, Neil, do something different. Do something different like what the Minecraft movie is trying to do with video game movies, and specifically what Jason Momoa is trying to do with his kids. And we're going to talk about why a Minecraft movie star Jason Momoa doesn't allow his kids to play video games. Now, I don't know what's in store with this article. I have no idea of the context. I want to read through it and see if there's something to talk about. Skim through it more so. Actor Jason Momoa stars in upcoming a Minecraft movie, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. We don't have a TV. My son doesn't have a phone. He's 16 and doesn't have a phone. We're different, dude, because when he's 18, he's gonna have a phone and it'll be out of the house and he can explore after that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, your son getting bullied. At school, they're calling him a bitch ass nigga. I promise you. Why do I know this? Because I was the nigga calling people bitch ass nigga. You 17 and you ain't got no phone? You's a bitch. You that broke you can't have your own phone at 17? Damn, get your paper up. Especially now that being mean to niggas for no reason is becoming more and more casualized as the internet becomes more and more prevalent in our lives. Oh, I know they're frying your son every goddamn day, calling him a bitch for not having a phone. Niggas bully each other for not having Fortnite skins. What do you think they'll do for you not having a phone as a teenager? That nigga's an outcast. And I'm not saying that like you can't tell your child to put down the phone every once in a while. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're calling your child fucking weird. Nigga be fucking playing with his hands. Nigga just be bored looking at walls and shit. Why no phone or video games? Because I just want them to use their creativity in a different way. I had a phone and I was still reading books and drawing. Okay, let me put it like this. You don't nurture something by eliminating something else. You nurture something by teaching them something in Alright. You don't nurture something by taking away. You nurture by adding. Because I just want them to use their creativity in a different way, so we do other things. These phones are new to the world. Everyone was doing just fine before phones. We watch movies together and that's beautiful. You can watch movies together and still have a phone. The fuck? I don't think I need to read more into this because that sounds like a case of Hollywood star not in touch with the world, doing some new magical fucking out of this world parenting technique that don't make no fucking sense. But we're gonna go ahead and make sure we watch something that makes sense, which is some of the gameplay from a hands-on preview I saw on my timeline from Games Radar about Doom the Dark Ages. Let's see.
Doom the Dark Ages doesn't fit that image at all.
What the fuck?
It has a shield.
Hey, whoa, what?
I thought I knew what Doom the Dark Ages doesn't fit that image.
Oh, this look hard.
It has a shield. It has parries. You move.
I like that it's a little bit slower.
Deliberately. But it's not this Doom Eternal sequel that has it wrong. It was me. Far from a safe sequel, this radically shifts what you would expect from Doom.
That's what we would like to hear. Tired of safe sequels. I'm tired of another version of the same game. I like when boundaries get pushed in a way that makes sense, that doesn't stray too far from the formula, but far enough to feel different.
Game director Hugo Martin explains it to me succinctly. You feel aggressive always in Doom. If you don't feel aggressive, it doesn't.
That's a factual statement.
Doom the Dark Ages Source Shield is more than just a new option. Going hands-on with the game,
I'm gonna put it on 1.5, and if it gets a little bit boring, I'll watch the rest on my own time.
Is something to cower behind. When you raise your shield, it's to allow you to charge headlong into danger. When you parry, it's to not...
I need backup!
...hitting them with some of the hardest hitting...
Shield bash!
You might move slowly and deliberately compared to Doom Eternal, but it's always with...
Shield bash!
You're not in danger, you are the danger. Doom the Dark...
that's what I like to hear.
Built around the concept of stand and fight, and every moment I'm directly in control of the Doomslayer...
Don't run!
Taking hits...
That's one thing that, like, turned me off to the idea of Doom Eternal. Like, you were kind of jumping around and dashing all over the place. And, like, I see the fun in it, but, like, when it comes to shooters and, like, playing Doom specifically, I kind of want to, like she's saying, stand and fight and stand and shoot shit and boom stuff off the screen. Because my familiarity with Doom is more so of the older stuff, like the Doom that runs on everything. Doom 64. excuse me. Like, no, I'm not old enough to have had an N64, but like playing that version of Doom, like those are more so the Doom games that I personally fell in love with. The Doom that could run in a browser on a computer lab. Those are the Dooms I fell in love with. Those are the Dooms that I'm most familiar with. And like, I like this aspect. So this definitely is piquing my interest.
Twofold is the most aggressive Doom has ever felt. The Dark Ages is recognisably still Doom. Or as Martin says, it's not new, but still Doom. It's new, but more Doom. But a myriad of tweaks and evolutions shifts just about every element of this third game of the Modern Era series to stand strong by itself. That's very much by design. Just as Doom Eternal took
because like
and hypercharged it to add loads more.
Yeah, because like out this whole playthrough of like gameplay we've seen in the background, I haven't seen one jump, one zip, one dash. Well, besides shield bash, but that's a BASH, not a DASH. So that's kind of like more an aggressive thing. I like that. I like the power fantasy that classic Doom gives you of I'm gonna stand there, knuckle up, and whoever want come through. You get put in the coffin. Oh wait, we already in hell. Suck my dick, bitch. Go back.
More weapon options and hyper-quick platforming.
How do you go back if you never left?
The Doomslayer has always been about aggression, but even here, the purposes behind his wrath have been recontextualized.
You know what I mean.
Dialing back the clock, Doom the Dark Ages is set before the previous two games, with the Doomslayer mind-controlled into serving the ends of gods, on a leash for Creed Maker, dropped into conflicts from an orbital spaceship at their discretion like a warhead ready to explode.
I don't even remember the story of the second Doom. I never like watched it, played it, none of that. I remember I played some of Doom 2016, and then I played some of Doom 2016. I didn't like it, and I watched probably like Markiplier or something. No, definitely was Markiplier, and I watched Markiplier beat it because at the time I was like, game cool. I just don't give a fuck. I don't want to play it.
Earth's Dark Ages. The opening hours lean more heavily into the lore of Doom than ever before, bringing to life a lot of elements referred to in Doom Eternal's codex pages. Environments feature plenty of stone Gothic architecture and wooden churches with a tactile feel to stomping around them, but expect to see plenty of lower third place names about the planets the Doomslayer is unleashed upon. It's sci-fi to the max. The opening section has me ripping and tearing through a village under attack, but still ends with a laser turret section.
Oh, what?
The controller, holding the left trigger, raises the shield saw, able to soak a certain amount of damage before it begins to charge up its strength again. A tap of the left bumper above hurls the shield, blades spinning to cut through enemies, sticking into any larger targets it finds.
Shield slash!
But this can also
I like it.
As well as defense. Reticules will appear on enemies, and on some nodes, which you can then shield charge towards to quickly close the distance, whether that's to keep you away from strong demons, zip up to meet an enemy shooting down at you from a barricade, or to uncover a secret.
I'm not running from nothing. I tank everything.
Weigh up the risk and reward and adapt your strategy around hurling the deadly disc. While there's no double jump this time around, you quickly stop noticing it. Clicking the stick to sprint feels like a natural substitute as the game embraces horizontal conflict. And you're not the only one with enhanced defensive capabilities. Enemies too now patch armor. Again, at first glance, I was worried this wouldn't feel all that Doom, but in play, it doesn't feel like it makes enemies spongier. Rather, it adds a new layer of action when it comes to taking them on. Hit them with a barrage of damage.
So you can't just shoot shit, you gotta think a little bit.
Brittle enough for a shield throw to shatter them into
pieces. Cool for if I ever want to play this on hard, but I'm not. I'm playing this bitch on easy. Fuck out of here, I want a power fantasy.
Allow you to take out whole groups in just a couple of throws. Likewise, in a later, more open-ended level,
does it dash?
Zones have leader demons who are completely immune to damage until a morale meter is depleted. Rather than frustrating, this keeps you aware of an ever-present danger as you zip around mopping up foes to make them vulnerable, essentially ensuring—
oh damn, I gotta make them sad. I gotta clap his mans.
In a way where you're always clashing with the baddest—
I wouldn't be demoralized if you clap my mans. I would just keep moving.
But the guns are—
I'm a horse. I don't stop, I keep going.
Ever. Crucially though, the shield is ever present. Something you think
that was a fucking setup.
What gun to use next. The super shotgun, for example, does immense damage at close range. So why not use a shield charge to get close to a foe before unloading the clip? Less emphasis has been placed on using the correct weapon for each demon than in Doom Eternal. The shield instead giving you lots of ways to get creative with your playstyle to unleash damage.
Yeah.
For instance, fill a foe with nails and whack them with a throw.
I need backup!
Damaging nearby enemies. Or, alternatively, shoot them with nails as the shield saw whirs inside of them to ricochet blasts all around. Melee has also been expanded and is now a core part of combat.
Yeah, it's like this. Every time I see gameplay of this game, I get like a giggly little kid because like I said, this is one of the most ultimate hyper masculine power fantasy type games where you just run around and you shoot at weird nasty demons and they just blow up and die like a bitch. I like that. I paused it.
A lot more than, say, the
Yeah, run me my dopamine, pussy.
Each melee hit of an enemy will spill out ammo to collect, expanding a charge of energy. The starting gauntlet, for instance, has 3 charges, whereas the later mace only has 1, but hits much harder, with flails and others in between. But rather than just working around expending this energy and moving on until you hoover up more charge or enough time elapses, melee is built into aggressively charging into enemies. Because, yes, if you remember, Doom the Dark Ages has parries. A lot of parries. Whether it's an arachnotron shooting out a wave of attack orbs in your direction with 1 green orb among them, or a side...
Oh, you gotta parry green ones.
This color always...
Okay, so movement is still important. It's just
like wong,
movement forward instead of around. Okay, that makes sense.
Enemies, but also charges up your melee, which means, yeah, you can stand and fight. Cyber Demon tries to hit you, you bonk it back, hit it with a flail, then do the same before finishing it off. No need to run and gun. Just plant your feet and bring the pain there and then.
Exactly, don't run from me, pussy.
Parrying and meleeing here, and that's before we even get to the shield runes that can enhance that further, not included in my demo. We've got 4 different shield runes, Martin tells me. One of them is like a shoulder-mounted turret. The other is like a series of ethereal daggers that come flying out, you know, and does AoE damage and targets enemies in the space.
I want that. I want the little trrr. I want the little trrr on my shoulder. I'm trying to walk through it. Like I'm War Machine.
The revised glory kills. What used to be an epic kill moment now feels a bit limp in comparison to parrying and dedicated melee.
That's what it feels. That's what it looked like from trails and stuff. I'm not surprised.
From any angle, but that can sometimes amount to feeling like you just kick an enemy before they crumple. I always appreciated the high impact, quick animations of the glory kills in the last 2 games, so it's
right?
feel less satisfying here. Though it's hard to grumble.
It's a shame that when I'm ready to play, they take their shit away.
You're not always standing and fighting just as the Doomslayer on the ground, though. We wanted to put mechs in the game, says Martin about Doom Eternal, which teased many gigantic demon titans and Atlan mechs. It had a real sense of scale, making you feel tiny in the middle of some absolutely massive environment.
You got to try it?
This time around, you get to jump into an Atlan itself to pilot one of the honking gigantic mechs. Doom the Dark Ages doesn't feature multiplayer like Doom Eternal, centering on the campaign itself.
Doom Eternal have multiplayer?
Executive producer Marty Stratton tell me ditching the live service element allowed them to free up resources to bring the Atlan sections, as well as the Dragon sections, to life. They're not just cheap gimmicks. We approach them as almost a game within itself, notes Stratton. My hands-on with the Atlan mech is brief, amounting to little more than a few...
That sounds interesting.
...tutorialized. There's a heft to both your and enemy movements, which makes sense because of their size. Most encounters here are built around perfect dodging green parry-style blows to supercharge your defense and finish them off, though you can also glory kill as usual. Exchanging blows and gunfire feels very lightweight compared to your on-foot arsenal, and the sense of scale that's impressive when you're on the ground is lost.
Nah, I look like he hitting that motherfucker. That nigga leg crumpling.
Sold by these sections yet, but there's more than this in the full game, so hopefully it can strike a better balance on release.
Facts.
It might come as no surprise then that my favourite parts of Doom the Dark Ages are the bits where you get to properly play as the Doomslayer, and less so the parts where that's more radically changed. But what does come as a surprise is just how different Doom the Dark Ages feels from what I'd expect from Doom, while still feeling extremely Doom. While I'm yet to be charmed by every departure, every addition to the core loop feels like an amazing idea that I would never have thought would work for Doom in a million years, but feels so natural to play here. We always want to make a different game, says Martin. Nothing we do is necessarily a reaction to what we did before. If Doom the Dark Ages can pull it off, it might join our best FPS games list. But what do you think about Doom the Dark Ages? Do you like these changes? Will you be picking this game up?
Hey, I ain't got nothing else to say. This shit look fire. Something I do got something to say about is... This one, I'ma skim through it a little bit, but this headline's fucking hilarious. Elon Musk's estranged daughter weighs in on his pro-gamer claims. Excuse me. He was a bronze tourbillon man. He was fucking dog shit. He would try to constantly get us to play ranked with him, and I'm 90% sure it was just because we could carry him. Damn, his daughter said that nigga ass at games. Confirmed. When I was 12, he was bronze in Overwatch, and me and my twin weren't. Wilson told Hassan when asked about Musk's recent adventures in the gaming world. He would try to constantly get us to play ranked with him, and I'm 90% sure it was because we could carry him. So she was talking to Hassan, and I know that nigga has a lot to do with politics, so this might be something more of a shorty just up there yapping. I just thought this headline was fucking funny. This nigga was begging 12-year-olds to carry him in Overwatch because with the character with literal fucking auto aim and a mechanic that makes sure that his turrets don't die, you couldn't get out of bronze with him. I guess, nigga. Okay. You're fucking buns, bro. You're buns. It's okay. You are employed. Now, what's not okay is you being employed taking care of the entire country. But that's a whole different conversation for a whole nother time. I just wanted to bring this up because this shit is hilarious. This nigga was hard stuck bronze. This nigga was drowning in pools. He was getting beat over the head with a penny. He couldn't break past the penny and make it to the... And I know nickels are made of nickel, but he couldn't break past the penny and get to the nickel. He was just stuck under a penny. Lincoln just linking at him like... He fucking disgusting. I just find that funny, and that being said, I'm about to go hop on Marvel Revials. If you are going to be here for that part of the stream, like I always say, all you must do is hit the reload button on your tab.